Steve was back with Impact, I was like, they gotta put him and Rosemary back together at some point, or have them do stuff, which I think it'll be better for both of them at this point. So I think Rosemary and Crazy Steve are gonna win that one. Then we have the old school rules 6-man tag team match. It'll be Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doring versus Rhino, Cousin Jake, and Tommy Dreamer. For this one, I'm going to go with Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doring because that's like one of the new factions that they're building right now. I think it's very interesting. At first, when it was like Eric Young and Joe Doring, I wasn't really sure where they were going with it. I was just kind of like, okay, I guess we'll just see where this takes us. But yeah, I just thought thought it was kind of out of nowhere at the time, because Eric Young had just finished up being world champion. He dropped the belt to Rich Swann at Bound for Glory. So I guess that was going to be the new direction that they were going to go from there with that. But yeah, I expect Eric Young, Diener, and Joe Doring to win, and they're going to, I guess, put this new faction over. That's the way I see this going. Uh, then we have the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. It'll be the finals of the Knockouts Tag Team Title Tournament. It'll be Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Nevaeh. And I've said before that I think Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz should be the first Knockouts Tag Team Champions. That's just my opinion, only because I just feel like they have such great chemistry, and I feel like they just be the perfect pairing to be the first tag team champions. So that's who I'd want to win, but I do think it's going to be Havoc and Nevaeh. And the only reason why I think it's going to be them now is because watching Impact Wrestling this past Tuesday night, I remember they did the segment where it was like the two of them with Scott D'Amore, and they were, you know, Kiera and like them were pointing out that like they had defeated them before in the past, and usually when they point that out, usually that means it's time for the other side to win. Hence why I think Havoc and Nevaeh are going to win the match and become the first. I shouldn't say first because there was the previous Knockouts Tag Team Champions, uh, but I think they're going to be the first of the new tag team champions or whatever. So we also have a barbed wire massacre match. It'll be Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan, which I'm going to go with Sami Callihan's going to win this one because this is the final chapter in the 3-year feud, basically, between Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan. Uh, Feud that ended up changing Eddie's career in a lot of ways, because they ended up having the botched bat spot. Then Eddie would have the eye injury, and then they turn it into like a straight up, they were doing like a program with each other, but I mean they turn it into like they add this like to further the angle. Then Eddie would start doing the crazy lunatic type gimmick, and then from there the rest is history. Of course, before this feud, like with Callahan again, they were starting to go away from that, and Eddie was kind of going back, just being going back more to just the wrestling stuff, but you know now that he's back feuding with Callahan, he's starting. I guess we're starting to get a mix of all that, but it's been a while since I've seen a barbed wire massacre match for one, because they said on Impact, I think this last week, I think Master Rain pointed out that it's been 3 years since the last time they had done one, I guess the last time they would have did it was between OVE and LAX, but I didn't think of that one off the top of my head because I wasn't back watching Impact yet at that time, so it didn't cross my mind. Because the last time I recall seeing one, at least in Impact, was back when it was TNA. I think it was like 2008. It was like Abyss and Judas Messias. I want to say. I think that was the last one that I recall seeing. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been other places in wrestling that may have done them since then, but not that I've seen. So I can't really say anything on that. Then we have the Karate Man versus Ethan Page. I have no idea how they're going to do this, but I'm assuming it's a cinematic. I'm assuming it's a cinematic match. I don't want to make it seem like I don't know, like I don't have any idea of how they're going to pull it off. But what I mean is like that's like the only way they can do this. But like how like it's going to be, I have no idea. I mean, it could be funny at least in that sense, but this is one of those things I could already tell that like some people are going to be kind of like hit and miss on. Impact's known for throwing some comedy in there. There's some people who like it, but sometimes I think it could be a bit too much, or it could be not for everyone, I guess, in that sense. But if I had to pick who's going to win this, I got to go with the Karate Man. But I think the other thing that's interesting about this is because Ethan Page is apparently his Impact deal, according to all the reports and everything, is supposed to be like up like very soon. So of course, there when you hear that, you kind of get the impression like well, in this case, like who knows what they're going to end up doing with this? But I guess according to other reports, I remember seeing like last month, it was that they were stating that he was getting interest from like all different like promotions. So I guess it'd be interesting to see where he ends up landing if he is in fact leaving Impact, which would be sad. I mean, obviously, I hope the best for him, and whatever he ends up wherever he ends up landing or everything. Like when I say like when I start sounding like that, I don't want to make it seem like I only want them to be like an Impact, or it's like I don't think about anything else, or like I don't understand like it's a business at the end of the day or anything. But like what I mean is like it'll be sad only because like I enjoyed his time there, and I really enjoyed his him teaming up with Josh Alexander as the North, because I think they're by far one of the best tag teams in all the business. But so that would be sad. And that would be that would be a big loss for Impact. But once again, as I said before, it's a promotion that has like a lot of moving parts, and a lot of faces come and go. So it's sad, but I guess at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. But we also have the Knockouts Championship match. It'd be Deonna Purrazzo defending against Taya Valkyrie, which this goes back to what I was saying with Ethan Page. It was also reported that Taya Valkyrie's contract or her deal with Impact would be up soon, which if that's the case, then Deonna absolutely has to win this one if that's the case. So this if that's the case, I mean, as I said, like I don't like these are just reports or anything, so like I don't want to things can happen, but like if Taya wins, she's obviously staying with Impact. But if Deonna wins, then this could very well be Taya's last match in Impact. So which that'd also be very sad from like a fan's perspective. Obviously, she could go to any promotion and be great anywhere. But so yeah, that's so I'm going to go with Deonna Purrazzo on that. And then in the main event, we have a tweak of sorts. Of course, it was originally, promoted as being Rich Swann and the Motor City Machine Guns against Kenny and the Good Brothers. But as of yesterday, it's being announced that Moose will take the place of Alex Shelley, who's unable to travel to Nashville to make the show. So it's going to be Rich Swann, the Impact World Champion, Moose, and Chris Sabin versus the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Impact World Tag Team Champions, and the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega with Don Callis in their corner. This one's quite obvious for me. I mean, now that Moose is involved, I could actually see this going a whole nother direction, a whole nother route, because they've been building up Moose since Bound for Glory, like how, he's taken this serious turn ever since his feud and that cinematic match he ended up doing with EC3. Now he's like finding like the best version of himself, and he's being what EC3 and like everyone else like knew he could be, but like now he's like now that he's taking himself like super serious. So I feel like Rich Swann and Moose is where they can go at Rebellion for the next pay-per-view. I think that could be the main event. And that's when Moose will finally win the Impact World title. I say finally just because he's been there for like a while. He's been there for like about 5 years, and I just feel like he's been meant to be world champion for just a while. So, and I like Rich Swann as champion. I think he's a great top baby face for Impact right now, but I just think that's what will happen. So I'm going to go with getting back to the match. I'm going to go with Kenny and the Good Brothers only because I mean it's the AEW World Champion. I mean obviously they allowed Kenny to be on this pay-per-view and wrestle in the main event with the Good Brothers, but he's obviously going over. I mean I have no doubt in my mind about that. I mean maybe AEW down the road they can depending upon who comes to Impact, maybe they could have one of Impact's guys go over their guys. Like with the way they're doing this thing with the Elite, with the Good Brothers now with Kenny, and now that they're on Dynamite together, you got the Bucks around. I mean, I could a Revolution see like a champion versus champion match, Good Brothers versus the Bucks, and then maybe the Good Brothers go over. So I mean, those kind of things will obviously have to be worked out. But I'm just saying that since it's Kenny Omega, in my opinion, the best wrestler around. Since he's the AEW World Champion, they obviously want to put him on there if he was like gonna do a job like in this case. So Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers are absolutely gonna win this match. And also another thing to point out is before the show where of course there'll be the live countdown show. I think you can watch it on Fight TV, and it'll be like on Access TV as well. It'll be Josh Alexander one-on-one with Brian Myers. So that should be a solid match, actually, especially if they give him some time. But that's all I have for this Hard to Kill 2021 preview show. Hope you guys liked it, and hope you guys will also tune into Hard to Kill tonight on pay-per-view. Really look forward to it. I've been looking forward to this one for a while, and of course, it's a big month actually for wrestling in January. I mean, we had Wrestle Kingdom 15 to kick off the new year. We have Impact Wrestling Hard to Kill 2021, and we'll have the Royal Rumble, in a matter of a couple weeks as well. So, I guess no, I shouldn't say I guess it's something to look forward to. I mean, it's the Royal Rumble. I mean, granted, it won't be in front of fans, and it'll be in the Thunderdome, so, that'll be interesting. Hopefully it could still be, good and, not have, be affected by, well, I mean, I can't say not, hope it won't be affected. I mean, it's going to be affected by not having the fans there. I don't think there's a show in wrestling that's more dependent on having fans there than the Royal Rumble, even more so for WrestleMania. Because we all saw last year there were no fans for WrestleMania. It was an empty arena show, and they did it. So yeah, so but overall, still, I mean, with all those 3 pay-per-views in one, I mean, it's definitely a big month for wrestling, and yeah, so we'll see how this goes tonight, and look forward to everything else going forward. But hope you guys enjoy this one. Be sure to follow PWTR Pro Wrestling to Remember on social media. Twitter is at PWTR_podcast. And also be sure to follow us on Instagram over at PWTR Podcast. That's the handle for Instagram. Once again, hope you guys enjoy this. Tomorrow, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we will have the Rewind number 3, WWE Royal Rumble 2006, so don't forget to tune into that. And also on Monday, I think 2 p.m. is when we were looking to have that one up there. It was going to be in the afternoon. That's when I'll have the Hard to Kill 2021 review. So hope you guys will also tune in for that as well. With the Saturday pay-per-views, I'm going to still do those on Monday. If it's a Sunday pay-per-view, it'll be on Monday. Saturday will be another. It'll be on Mondays, which I think I think that'll be fine. I mean, of course, it's 2 days after, or it's actually really a day after, because I usually did the paper. I usually would have the review up the day after, in the morning sometime. But I feel like it'll be better doing it this way, only because I feel like it'll just give me more time, one, to do it, and I just feel like, you guys could have the rewind on Sunday, I just feel like it could give me more time also to process my thoughts, so I can have a better review than if I, just watched it and just immediately or did something afterwards, because, things can change, the way you perceive things, or maybe I could rewatch something, or, things can change over time, so, yeah, so, I look forward to those 2 shows. So it'll be 3 straight days of PWTR, and I do hope to get back into the swing of doing another series. I do have a lineup of things I'm trying to put together. I don't have the official one for February yet, so I'm still working on that. But just want to get this thing back on the road. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys will watch Hard to Kill tonight, and that's all the time I have for right now. And peace out.